Ayo! And what is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me once again here on the channel today. We've got some more breaking news that we're going to discuss. A couple of big topics I want to talk about. The Undertaker being rumored to possibly being returning to in-ring action. Take that with a pinch of salt, but we are going to talk about that. JBL has granted everybody's biggest wish in the world and is leaving SmackDown. We have Dolph Ziggler being reported to be leaving when his contract has expired. Mae Young Classic news, GFW news, all that and maybe a little bit more right here and right now, like we always do, on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
This video is sponsored in part by Clutch Chairs. Clutch Chairs is the ultimate gaming chair and is the official game chair of the WWE and offers a wide selection of chairs featuring WWE superstar logos. Click our exclusive link in the description below to see if your favorite superstar has one or for more information. Clutch Chairs. Level up your comfort. Alright, wrestling fans, thank you once again for joining me here. I am Nick Nightmare. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. With me, as always, is the World Heavyweight Champion of all microphones, Blue, the Snowball, and we got some stuff to talk about. I want to get right into it today. There's going to be no nonsense. We're going right into the news. The Undertaker. Alright, this is probably the biggest rumor going around right now. The Undertaker reportedly being in training for an in-ring return. Does anybody really want this? Do you want this? I don't really want this. I think that as much as I hate the way he went out, I think there's a certain symbolism into the way he left his hat and the coat and into the ring, and then he kissed his wife, and then he went and descended into the depths of hell. There's some sort of poetic beauty to the whole thing, regardless of who his last match was against. That was a beautiful way to go out. So everybody's talking about it, and everybody's pretty much under the same opinion. Nobody really wants him to ruin that. But I think everybody's forgetting something. That if they are leaving this window open for The Undertaker's return, you have to also remember there are two versions of The Undertaker. And I would not put it past Vince and company at all to bring the American badass Undertaker back for his final run. The dead man is done. You know, that winning streak at WrestleMania, the whole pallbearer has been long gone. You know, the whole gimmick is done. I think they've taken it and played it for all it's worth. But if he wants to get revenge for that loss, or he wants to have that rematch with Roman, or they want him to have one last match with John Cena, whatever the case may be, the only way, in my opinion, to bring The Undertaker back is as the American Badass. You bring him back with the smoke and the hat and the coat. You've stained everything. You've stained it all. Give him a new updated theme. Obviously, you can't use the Kid Rock theme. Or maybe you can. Call up fucking Kid Rock. Tell him, listen, we're doing this again. Shut up. You know, we're not giving you nothing. You already signed an agreement. Whatever. Pay him if you have to. It's only going to be for a handful of matches. Right? Maybe just even one. So you have him come out. He's riding his bike with the bandana and the denim and the fucking vest jacket, and you give him a new little fucking logos where he can sell some new t-shirts and make some fucking money on his way out. That's the only way you book The Undertaker for any further matches at this point on. Everybody's getting all up in arms, you know. He was down in Brooklyn training in the ring before the event supposedly started. Maybe that's why everybody was let into the fucking building so late. Because The Undertaker was in the ring, The Undertaker was in the arena, and they didn't want anybody to really fucking see him there. If any of these fans got video footage on their phone of The Undertaker taking bumps or hitting the ropes, forget it. Everything is really fucking blown. So even if it was just for some sort of mysterious video game that nobody knows about, that Jerry the King Lawler says, oh, well, he was just there doing scans for a video game. What fucking game? There's no news of no other game outside of 2K that I'm aware of. I haven't heard anything from Macho T. And if he don't fucking know, nobody knows. So, get out of here with that. This man was in the ring for some reason. Even if it was just to see what he could do. But why is he testing his limits? Because there's some sort of plan in play. And if they don't play it the way I just described it to you, they are going to continue to do what they do best. And that's fucking ruin characters and ruin everybody. And I don't want to see the dead man back. But if you want to bring in the Undertaker in that persona, because it's completely different. It's not the same guy. Yes, it's the same person. But character-wise, they are completely different. The Undertaker wasn't rolling his eyes and doing the whole... No, he was not the dead man. He was the American badass. He had a different finishing move. He wasn't killing people with the tombstone. He was last riding everybody. He came in on the motorcycle. He had the glasses, the bandana, the old school biker gimmick. It would be different. It would be somewhat refreshing to see again, at least in my opinion, because I don't want to see him come out as the dead man anymore. It would ruin anything. Everything. That's my thoughts on that. Take it, like I said, take that whole story with a pinch of salt, because I don't really believe much, because everybody's always going to speculate about a wrestler's return. Everybody's always talking about, oh, CM Punk's coming back, Undertaker's coming back. Why? Why do you even feel the need to force this man to try to come back, or have this angle for him to come back, unless it's something personal and he doesn't like the way he went out and he wants to go out on his feet, which he deserves for all his years of service. He definitely deserves to go out the way he wants. But I just don't really see the point. Why can't we start elevating the young guys up instead of falling back to the old school? Because the old school doesn't really sell like they used to. And The Undertaker, as huge as he is, he just can't do what he did. So how much value is he really bringing to the show? I love The Undertaker. You could put him on fucking TV in any capacity, on any show, anywhere, I'm going to watch it. Alright, so it's not about that. It's just, everybody's got a shelf life. And I think at this point, it's time to stop looking back at guys like The Undertaker and Austin and The Rock. And let's start looking forward to guys like Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe. Build them up to that level of Undertaker-like status. So we have a future in professional wrestling to look at. Speaking of the future for SmackDown just got a whole lot brighter, because we have all been granted one of our biggest wishes, and JBL has announced this weekend that he is leaving SmackDown Live's commentary team in order to further his personal business endeavors and his whatever he's doing out there where he lives in Bermuda, some sort of a local fundraising thing that he does for kids. And good on you. Fabulous. Go take your money and go be a great fucking philanthropist and help somebody somewhere else, because you're not helping SmackDown Live. And I want to give SmackDown a round of applause right now for getting rid of the trash. I know it was his choice, and it's the best choice he's ever made, at least for me, because I can't. JBL ruined that commentary team. He had a personal agenda. I don't know if it was coming straight from Vince in his earpiece, but his zings on people and his bullying ways with Mauro Ranallo, everything that gained such national exposure this year, this move should have happened months ago. I know it would have made him look much more guilty, but the fact that it's happening at all is just fucking fantastic. I can't say good riddance to bad rubbish any fucking quicker than I could say it to JBL. And my only other hope, as many of my other fellow co-hosts on their shows are echoing, I don't want a third man. Don't bring in a third party. Don't you dare put fucking David Otunga there because Booker T's taking up space on fucking Raw. Don't bring Renee Young into the commentary team. It would be great if you had a woman's voice on a commentary team for once, but this needs to be a knowledgeable woman. Not that she doesn't know her stuff, but it should be an experienced veteran of the mat, somebody like that, so that they could really lend their insight to the match that's happening. It doesn't need to be Renee Young. She's absolutely perfect at what she does. I love everything that she's the perfect interviewer. She's great on Talking Smack. I loved Unfiltered, her little WWE Network show. I don't know whether or not they canceled that one, probably because I loved it so much. She doesn't need to be on the commentary team as much as I would welcome a fresh female voice. That's not the voice to do it, and I don't think there is really any because Lita's voice is not really lending much to the Mae Young Classic. But be that as it may, leave it to men. Leave it at two men. Leave it at Phillips and Saxton. It's fine. Let them riff off each other. Let them grow as a commentary team. Let it become something. Let them be the voices of SmackDown. Don't add a third person. Don't do it. There's absolutely no need for it. You don't need some veteran voice. You don't need some grizzled old person who's going to complain and talk about shit that Vince wants him to say. No. Let Byron Saxton do the color and be the geeky nerd or whatever, and let Todd Phillips be the straight man. You know, be the call guy. Calling the moves, calling the matches. And let Saxton go off and be a little crazy and have Phillips be like, What? What are you talking about? You're so weird. You know? The way Bobby and Gorilla used to do it. The way we used to see between Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body. All the greatest duos of all time. The three-man broadcast team, that's a WCW thing anyway. Wasn't that really made prominent by WCW? When you had Shivani and Bischoff and Bobby, or you had Mongo McMichael and Bischoff and Shivani. I mean, that three-man team does nothing. It clutters everything. You don't need Percy Watson on NXT. You definitely don't need a third voice now that you got Corey Graves on Monday Night Raw. I think Cole and Graves would be fantastic by themselves. We don't need Jerry the King Lawler coming over to SmackDown and filling in for anything. We don't even need JR being brought back. As great as I would love to hear some of these matches be called by the greatest announcer of all time, we don't need it. Like I just said previously with The Undertaker, stop going back. Let's move forward. So hopefully they replace him with no one, but I am happier than a pig in shit that JBL is gone. Fan-fucking-tastic. However, as we've said many times on this show, another name being rumored, in this case to be leaving SmackDown Live, is Dolph Ziggler. We have gone on record millions of times on this show saying that's the absolute best move he could make. Cody Rhodes has laid the blueprint for everybody on that roster to follow. If they're fucking with you and you don't like where you're going, ride it out and leave, and look what you could do. Wrestling is alive and well all over the world, all over the United States. The world does not end and begin in wrestling with the WWE. There's a whole world out there to conquer. Go out there and fucking do it. Cody Rhodes did it. Look at what it did for him, his career. Popularity-wise, he's off the charts. The WWE is absolutely frothing at the mouth at the possibility of having him back. And they're probably kicking themselves right up the ass for not allowing him to break away from Stardust and explore these things that he probably already had in his head. Dolph Ziggler needs to do the exact same thing right now. Whatever it is they got him doing right now, I don't even care. I don't care when he finally decides to come out, if he comes out at all. He may just be teasing us about his new debut and then, oh, sorry, I gotta go. You know, I don't know what the end game is here. There's a rumor going around that he's going to be placed into a feud with Bobby Roode, and that he's probably going to be putting over the Glorious One on his way out. Fine. I'm glad to see them wrestle. But I don't think Dolph's really going to go out there and steal the show like he wants to. He's got to start worrying about the future. He's going to start saving himself for his future endeavors. And the best thing he could do is go to New Japan. Just follow Cody Rhodes. You don't even have to join the Bullet Club. You could be anti-Bullet Club. But I'd love to see him in the Bullet Club. He would fit perfectly. But imagine Dolph Ziggler versus Kenny Omega. The fuck out of here. Dolph Ziggler and Cody Rhodes on the independent circuit could fucking main event anybody's big show. Could be a Wrestle Kingdom match for NJPW. It could be something for WCPW. That could be big anywhere and everywhere in the world for Ring of Honor. It'll get eyes all over that. or even in the United States presence for New Japan. They're trying to build their promotion here in the States. What better way than to have two of the biggest American stars on the planet that the WWE just dropped the fucking ball with and let this guy explode. I hope this is actually fact and that it's not just speculation and that Dolph Ziggler actually makes good on it. And then he goes out and makes 3 times the money he's making and is actually doing what the guy wants to do, and it's wrestle, perform, steal the show at the best of his ability. You have a man on the roster who's got echoes of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect and all the greatest of all time. If you kind of package them all up together, you get a little Dolph Ziggler. And you buried him because Cena said so all those years ago, and he's never been able to come back from it. So leave. Finish out your contract, collect your money, and leave. Sit home and train your body, get yourself ready for 90 days, and then blow the fucking wrestling world right off its edge. Because that's what'll happen for Dolph Ziggler. And I can't wait to see that. Little GFW news. We don't do a lot of that. But the story between Rosemary and Sexy Star, which has dominated the wrestling headlines all week long, is starting to be used in a way that is making some of us question the validity of the whole incident in and of itself. So, Global Force is going to highlight the incidents that took place with Sexy Star and Rosemary at last weekend's pay-per-view event. And, not pay-per-view, special event, wherever it was, I forget now. And if this is in fact been a work the whole time, and Rosemary didn't, or Rosemary already knew that she was going to do this, and this was whole work to get everybody to watch Global Force Wrestling, I'm going to be very upset. Because you can't play with your emotions that way. Yes, it is, in a way, what wrestling's all about, right? You want to generate real-life emotion. You want to create a buzz. You want people to watch your show, right? But Global Force had absolutely nothing to do with this incident. So by transporting whatever happened this weekend at that other show to the Global Force television broadcast, it looks like you're only trying to get viewers based off of that. And, I mean, they would kind of be stupid to not. Right? If you're a business owner and you own Global Force and this happened to one of your people and it's been talked about all over the fucking world, you're going to want it on your show because people are going to want to tune in to see what Rosemary says, see what Jeff Jarrett feels about the situation, all these things. I'm already interested. I want to fucking see what they're going to do. I have to find out because if Sexy Star ends up in Global Force Wrestling and they make an angle out of this, is that okay? I don't think so. If what happened was genuine and she hurt this girl, she should be blacklisted as she's being done so by the likes of Cody Rhodes and WrestleCade canceled her appearance at their convention later on the year in November. People are making moves against her, which makes me believe this is absolutely valid because nobody's coming out and being like, hey, listen, no, it was just a shoot. We can't kill Sexy Star's career. We were just trying to do this thing. We're sorry. But it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like it's a valid, truthful thing, and Rosemary continually on social media has touted everybody for their support and their love, and Global Force was great, and this place was great, fantastic. But if this turns into a wrestling angle between the two girls, it's a slap in the face to all of us. They're spitting right in between our eyes because they made us believe all of this, and they got all of our emotions all out of whack, and they got everybody all pissed off at Sexy Star, and at the end it was just for you to tune in to Global Force Wrestling? That's not a good game to be playing, and I certainly hope that's not the direction that it's going, because I don't want to see it that way. If I want to see Sexy Star be punished for doing the cardinal sin in pro wrestling, you don't hurt anybody. You do not hurt your opponent. It's the one thing you don't do. And if you go out and did it on purpose, then you are the worst kind of pro wrestler. If it was accidental, as she claims, then it really needs to be looked into because when you watch the footage of it, it doesn't look like an accident. And I don't know whether you can chalk it up to a communications breakdown, because of the language barrier. If there was, I don't think there even was. Most referees are multilingual because talent comes from everywhere. You know, there's a lot of referees that can speak Japanese and Spanish and French because that's where our wrestlers all come from. And they need to be able to relay the important bits of information that need to be relayed by a referee during the match. We got 5 minutes left. You know, we got to go home. It's time to go home. We got to take it home. They need to be able to do this because not everybody understands English, and it's not really as universal of a language worldwide. So, you know, these kind of things could have had an effect on that situation, but I doubt it very much. And I'm very, very curious to see how they choose to feature this. If they're going to have the footage, does that mean they're working in conjunction with this other promotion now? I don't know. It's very confusing, and it seems to me like something's a little fishy in this situation now with Global Force and Rosemary. I will be tuning in. I don't know whether or not you should, but just so you know, I will be tuning in, and we will be talking about it one way or another. I'll either be relieved or I will be highly disappointed in Global Force. Not that I have any stake in them really here or there. I've kind of just fallen off with them. I stopped watching. It's just not interesting. And I just don't like the six-sided ring. I just don't. I never did. It made them different. I just don't like the aesthetic of it. I don't like how they wrestle in it. It's just awkward. I just don't. I like my four-sided ring, and let's just leave it at that. So we'll be tuning in. You could do so if you feel the need. However, you should most definitely tune in tomorrow night, or tomorrow anytime, because tomorrow is September the 4th, and episodes 5, 6, 7, 8 of the Mae Young Classic will be available. So we are going to know by this time tomorrow the final 4 competitors of the Mae Young Classic, or we might even know the finals. I don't know how they're going to break it up. I don't know if we're going to get the rest of the tournament leading up to that final match with the final 2 going into the September 12th live episode, or if they're going to leave us at the semifinals and give us the semifinals leading into the finals on this live event. Either way, I'm jacked and I'm ready for it, and we urge you to make sure you watch it. The first round was pretty good. The first 2 episodes were great. The second 2 episodes had great matches on it, but all in all, there were a lot of problems with it. If you want to know what I really feel about it, check out the reviews. They're here live on the channel. Just go back and check it out. We're almost done here, so go back and check it out. What else you could check out is I am currently working on my preview for 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we are going to have that live up on the channel, hopefully later on this evening, if not by early morning. So before you watch those episodes, make sure you come back and check us out here and see what I think is going to happen, so you know whether or not I know what I'm talking about. And you can compare notes with me after the show when we come back and do the review, which you should be here for that one too. So thank you guys for being here today, because we always welcome you guys. We love you. We love every single one of you. You have subscribed in force. This last year has been amazing. I want everybody right now to hit that thumbs up. Smash it. Super kick it right in the face for me. Power bomb it. German suplex it. Whatever your favorite move is. Frog splash. I don't know. I don't know what kind of guy or girl you might be. I don't know what kind of repertoire you have. I'm sorry, Blue. I'm getting a little out of control. But smash it. Here's 2 of them for you. Boom, boom. Smash that thumbs up if you like today's video. Don't forget, if you are not a member of the Sledgehammer Club, to subscribe right now so you will always be in the know when a new video like the Mae Young 5, 6, 7, 8 preview goes up later on. Hit that notification bell. Make sure so you always know right at the exact second it goes up. You'll get that little ring-a-ding-ding, and you will know that the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show is up for you to view. Thank you once again. This was fun, as it always is. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone. We are sponsored by Clutch Chairs. Don't forget to check that link in the description. Don't cost a dime. Just click the link and you're helping the show and support the show. That's all I need you guys to do. Thank you so much. That is going to do it, and we are out of here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Rock and roll.